Sports Talk 1080, the Team Orlando. It's Tuck and O'Neill. It's Mike Tuck. I'm Jerry O'Neill. It's football season, but coming up, we'll close with a basketball thought. Don't let me forget that.
We can start with it if you like.
Okay, let me start with it. LeBron has been running his pie hole about how I wish I could have played in an NBA Finals with Kobe.
That's not where I thought you were going.
But I didn't. I let him down when I didn't win 2009 Eastern Conference Finals. That's because you were getting your ass kicked by the Orlando Magic, dude. And then you remember when you got it kicked, you walked out of the locker room like a little baby, like you needed you to suck your thumb. And instead of coming over and manning up and talking to the media, me included, you decided to take a right instead of cross the hallway and come and talk about it like a man. You girled your way out to the bus. That's the reason you didn't win in 2009. You got your ass kicked.
The Hoosiers tonight are going to girl their way out to the bus in Cameron Indoor. That's where I thought you were going with it.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ten ACC
It's going to get nasty tonight.
Indiana's got to go to Cameron. Wow.
Don't care if the ACC goes 1-5 tonight as long as Duke hammers IU.
Hey, have at it. That be the devil in him. And you know what? That's the same mascot for those goddamn Blue Devils. The key word there is devil. I see it on his shoulder. Football.
Pitchfork.
Yeah, exactly. Down, Lucifer. No, it's Mike Tuck. Okay, now, college football. We have another weekend coming up. Sad reality is it's the final weekend of the regular season, which includes 8 conference championship games. Last night, Jeff Long rolled out a new top 25 as the committee chair, talked about it. What do you think? Any questions?
Well, first
challenges?
reaction, Gators are done. All they can do is play spoiler at this point. There's no way you're moving them from that far off the pace to get into the top 4, even if they upset Alabama.
Apparently the committee gets cable.
Well, I understand the ranking, but at the same time, I'll make the point clear with North Carolina. So they put the Tar Heels at 10.
Right.
If you have any inclination going in that North Carolina can win and get into the top 4 with a win, then put them higher. Make life easier on yourself. Don't make it so you have to justify a week later why you're jumping them over Notre Dame and Florida State and Ohio State, teams that are done and not playing anymore.
North Carolina.
I don't like that because you know what? If they lose the game and you have them that high, you just back them up. It's not a big deal. But they made life harder on themselves. I don't think they learned last year's lesson of the committee and how you arrange things at the end of the season.
Let me know when you're done with your North Carolina pom-poms. You can put those
I'm not
down.
saying they should be in.
They won't be. The committee has spoken.
To me, I find that to be ludicrous. That somehow,
ludicrous.
Yeah, if Stanford loses, look, I think Stanford's the team to get in if they win.
Okay.
And one of the top 2 teams loses.
All right.
To me, though, if Carolina wins, obviously would mean Clemson loses and Stanford loses.
Right.
Carolina should jump over Ohio State, in my opinion.
What the committee said through its chairman last night, I don't know. Maybe you had the SAP button pushed and you weren't figuring it out in English because he said it in English. You lost to a loser your opening week of the college football season, South Carolina. You played 2 1AA schools, and you didn't have to man up against Clemson or Florida State, the real powers that be in the ACC. So grab a seat on the bus, but it's in the back of the bus. There are other teams, regardless. If Clemson loses, Clemson's out, and so's the ACC.
Who would Clemson lose to?
North Carolina.
Thank you.
Right.
North Carolina's schedule, even with that bad loss, even with the 1AA teams, is just 2 spots behind in the Sagarin ratings to Ohio State. If they beat Clemson, they're going ahead of them. And if you look at the teams they beat compared to who the Buckeyes beat.
Here's the other thing.
I mean, Are you kidding me? I don't understand how Ohio State gets in over North Carolina.
Hey, this just in. I didn't say they'd get in over Ohio, wouldn't get in over Ohio State.
Then put them ahead of them for now at least.
No, you don't have to. They haven't played anybody.
They have played somebody.
Who?
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Look at their schedule. Who has Ohio State beaten this year?
I'm not talking about Ohio State. I'm talking about North Carolina.
I'm only comparing those 2 teams.
I got them all right
I'm
here.
only comparing those 2 teams. Do you agree with me? I thought you just said you did.
About what's your question?
If Clemson loses to North Carolina and Stanford loses to USC,
okay,
who gets the 4th spot?
Well, it'd be Alabama, Oklahoma, the winner of Iowa, Michigan State. And I could see where North Carolina would move into that.
I'm just saying, why have them at 10 then? Why even make it so they have to jump over Florida State or Notre Dame, let alone Ohio State?
Because
they just make things difficult.
My friend, maybe you forgot the committee's mantra a year ago. We're looking at the entire schedule to this point.
So am I.
They will have beaten the number one team in friggin' America on a neutral field. What's Florida State doing this week? Patting each other on the ass for winning 10 games? What's Ohio State doing? Selling bonbons? They're not playing.
Exactly.
Clemson has the opportunity
How is that an argument?
to beat the number one team in America on a neutral field, while the others are playing Sandbox 101. That's part of it.
Florida State has 2 losses. Carolina has 1.
Why are we yelling?
Here's this for an update for you. Florida State has 2 losses, right?
Right.
One of them was to a 3-win Georgia Tech team.
Okay.
How is that any different than North Carolina? Hello? That makes no sense whatsoever. You could justify Notre Dame if you wanted to. Putting them behind Florida State makes no sense. None.
Okay. Well,
all.
Get over it. While Florida State...
You agree with me. Thank you.
While Florida State has a bye week, they're not worthy of getting to the championship game. Clemson and North Carolina will do battle. If Carolina beats them, they obviously will move ahead of some of these. But in my opinion, and yours as well, if both North Carolina and Stanford win, who's ahead of who there?
Stanford, in my opinion.
Thank you. Same here. We are Tuck and O'Neill. Weekdays 3 to 6.
We agree.
7. Sports Talk, 1080 The Team. Orlando.